What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we are going to be testing out a new gun in a new caliber. This is the CMMG Mk4 Dissent, but this one is in 338 arc. This is actually a pistol, as you can see here with the pistol brace, and then I think this is an 11 5-inch barrel. We've actually got the Omega 9K on here, which I think will work with 338 subsonic. I hope it will. And we have a pretty interesting rail system on here. Now, one thing I will say about the CMMG Dissent series is they're sort of like a more affordable version of the SIG MCX, except they don't come with all the baggage of SIG currently. So CMMG is a very good option for that. Not only are they more affordable, just as reliable and accurate. Traditionally, the CMMG Dissent actually has full ambi controls, as you can see here on either side, ambi safety, ambi magazine release, and it has a single-sided bolt release, however. The back doesn't require buffer tube, so it is foldable, makes it a very good truck gun. And then we have a left side charging handle up here that is non-reciprocating. They come in a whole bunch of different colors. I actually requested this from CMMG. We work with them a lot. That will not change my opinion on the video, however, and they did ask me what color I wanted, and this time I actually went with gray. I don't know if you guys know, but I think every CMMG I've ever gotten was in green because I love their Bazooka green, but this time we actually went with gray, so hopefully we did not jinx ourselves. Now, the gun is interesting, but the round is more interesting. 338 arc is a new round for this year, and they are sort of the in-between between 300 blackout and 8.6 blackout to my knowledge. I think it was a round invented by Hornady. Today we actually picked up some subsonic, which is really what this gun is designed for, at least from what I hear. The subsonic performance of this is a little bit greater than 300 blackout, so you get a subsonic, very quiet round that performs sort of like a rifle as opposed to a big pistol round. 300 blackout subsonic is more like 45 ACP. So this guy here, we actually have a 307 grain sub X Hornady here. That's a big ass round. And then we have some, I think, 175 grain supersonic. We're going to be trying both these out today, see if we get good reliability and see what the round is capable of, not only in speed but on some ballistics gel as well. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys purchased the very, very expensive 338 arc for this video, and we really appreciate you. And if you want to support the channel, it's the best way to do it. Just go down to the link in the description below. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could use your help, so please get down there and donate to those kids. All right, now this is the subsonic 300 grain. This thing is crazy. This looks like a 5.7 somebody put a 308 into. I've never seen a round quite like this. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
And then we have this guy, which is the supersonic, and this also sort of looks like somebody put a 30-06 in a 5.7 case. All right, so we got the magazine loaded with 8 rounds of subsonic, and we're gonna do a little function check. I've never shot 338 arc before, so we're just gonna see how it goes.
That was so quiet. Oh.
Not well.
Uh-oh. Did it again. I don't think it likes the can, yeah? Maybe?
I mean, it's not the can. The can should be helping it.
Oh. Did it again.
Okay.
Hold on, let me finish eating my cracker.
I'll give you a cracker to eat.
I know you will.
Don't mind the cracker eating noise. So what we're doing here is we had to take a break. We had to go back to the house, get some Allen keys. We have non-functionality with this gun so far with the subsonic. Now, some guns function with super, some function with sub. My issue with this is this 338 arc is sort of designed to be subsonic. It's sort of designed to be suppressed. Now, this could be an issue with us. I want to state that right away, that we've never shot 338 arc. I'm not super familiar with the Dissent platform. We've shot one before. I did put a 9K 9mm suppressor on here, which at least was told to me that the subsonic would be just fine with that. So I don't think that's the issue. The can also puts back pressure, so it should be helping us with reliability, not hurting us. And the gun isn't functioning at all. Now we have a little adjustable gas block in there. As you can see where this charging handle is, we want to come in here. There's a tiny little detent in there that we have to turn, or a tiny little screw that we have to turn. But we're going to turn this and open the gas up and give ourselves some more gas and see if we can function these subsonic rounds, because so far it's a single shot. They should have cut a hole in this if this was such a big deal. You know, a lot of guns where they have an adjustable gas system in it, they have a hole in the rail so you can easily do it. We got one click. We got 2 clicks. So we'll click it twice, put this pressure back on, try it again. To be completely honest with you, I was nervous about this combination of new gun and new ammo before we got out here, because new rounds have a tendency to have new problems. So it looks like it's a gas issue, but we will see.
Worked. Now it didn't.
Okay, well we got 1, so I will turn it 2 more and we'll try it again. We got 2 more, 3rd time's a charm.
Yay!
Oh, we might have hit the jackpot here.
And you're out.
All right,
Yay!
well that's fun. Ah, slipped on the brass. Controls are a little sticky. You see it punch that center?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's subsonic, but it's hitting hard. You can feel the recoil. On the brace, it feels a little like a 10 mil, to be honest with you. Not much more than that. It doesn't feel too bad. It feels like a 10 millimeter from like a blowback. I said 10 millimeter. What I mean is from like a blowback carbine or something. I don't know. It's definitely more recoil than a 300 blackout, but not too bad, especially if you could take down a deer with it. You're a little high left. Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
That's obviously.
It's a short burst of fun though.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It definitely has a lot more kick to it than like a normal AR.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like 5.56.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would or not because it's subsonic, but it's definitely hit with some hit. I mean, it's a 300 grain projectile, so it's 6 times the weight of a standard 5.56. So that's a lot of weight. Now, you're going 1/3 the speed. So subsonic's usually like 900 to 1100, somewhere in there. So 6 times the weight, 1/3 the speed, still hitting twice as hard. Simple hillbilly math.
With this system, how does recoil reduction work? Because obviously it doesn't have a buffer tube.
I think the system that it uses is actually similar to the BRN 180 and the SIG MCX, whereas it's sort of like a holdover from the AR 180, I think. That way you can have the foldable stock. Now, my initial concern was not with the gassing. I'm glad that it actually worked out so far. But these rounds, these like bottleneck rounds, like the 357 SIG kind of is what this reminds me of, but in a rifle cartridge, sometimes these have trouble feeding. In my personal experience, my hillbilly experience. I'm not an engineer, I don't make rounds, but I do shoot a lot of them. And in my personal experience, when you have these weird shaped rounds that often sometimes have this neck, then they have the long projectile at the front, sometimes these have feeding issues.
I don't hate it. It's actually kind of fun. I don't think
it had longer mags, but I imagine those are
Don't
like
we
hunting
all?
mags. So I guess those 10 rounders, hunting mag be a 5-rounder. I don't know. I'm the gun expert, but I have no idea why it has 10 round mags. Now, one of the nice things about this gun is the folding brace or the folding stock system. If you SBR it, you make this a tiny little package. The fact that it's got a capable round, probably more than good enough for deer hunting, I would imagine, and for, you know, people issues as well. The fact that it's subsonic, can be super quiet, I think it'd make for a pretty good truck gun if it stays reliable. Did you see it pop that plate?
I didn't.
This thing's got some heat on it. And then I missed. Did you just hit that swinger? Atta girl.
I don't know.
Well, we can hit.
I feel
plates
so
within 50
powerful with
yards.
this.
That's accurate enough.
I like this. I'm a fan.
You are the silent assassin. That sounds like movie quiet. That sounds like you know, they go on a roof and they shoot like a 308 sniper rifle in movies and it's poof. It sounds like that.
That's what it sounded like.
A 308 rifle does not sound like that if you suppress it, but that does.
Can I be stupid and try one round without my earphone?
Go ahead. I mean, it shouldn't hurt you. Shoot one round in the dirt. There you go.
Well, that's not nearly as loud as I thought it was going to be. I mean,
it's
it's
not
still
loud.
got like
the
a
whole
loud
point of
crack
it is
to
to
it.
be powerful while not losing the hearing safe aspect of it. That way, if you like have this suppressed and you have subsonic, you have it in your truck or something and need to shoot something without hearing pro, or if you have it in your house for like home protection, that's the whole idea of like 300 blackout subsonic too, is that you can shoot it, still have some heft behind it. Because when you limit the power of a cartridge, you either limit the weight or the speed. Right? And in order to make it subsonic, you can't go above like 1100 feet per second, but they can make the bullet bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why it's got that giant ass fucking round in it, but it doesn't have very much powder. Got like half the powder of a 5.56, but like, you know, 6 times the ass. This is our volunteer for today. His name is Ted, and he is wiggly, and he is here to party.
Are you saying no, don't shoot me, Ted? How did Ted fare?
Well, we only got one of the 4 shots on camera. As you can see there, there's a pretty decent wound channel through it, I would say. Look at that. Can you see it right there? Here, I'll shoot him right at the top of the head. Well, I would say this is less impressive as far as the ammunition than I expected. Subsonic almost always is, right? 8.6 blackout's okay, but I would say that the wound channels on this look like a big pistol round, because that's sort of what it is. It reminds me a lot of like, probably like a hot 45 ACP or a 10 millimeter as far as like the actual wound channels themselves. Nowhere near what a 5.56 or a supersonic will. Can you see the wound channel in there? It's kind of difficult with the head.
It is.
We originally thought we had a block of clear ballistics gel to do this test, and then when we opened it up, we remembered we actually bought some heads instead. So it's not perfect science, but it is what it is. The wound channels in there, they look flowery petaled. They look okay, actually. I wouldn't say, though, that I've ever been super impressed with anything subsonic, like by comparison to supersonic. You know, if you're going subsonic, this does have 6 times the mass, but speed kills traditionally, and you're not going to get, even with a bunch of mass, you're never going to get like hydrostatic shock. You're not going to get a temporal cavity that could make the organs stretch to the point to where they can't stretch anymore. That's sort of what makes heads explode. Like if you shot a ballistic head and it explodes, it's because of the temporal cavity inside. And you're going to get a big wound channel with this, and they flower out and they petal nice. So you're gonna die. I mean, obviously you get shot in the head, you're gonna die no matter what. But I just meant if you're shooting an animal with this, like a deer with this, you're gonna get a big hole, sort of like you would with a pistol round or with a bow or something like that. And you're gonna rely on bleeding to kill the animal. Whereas with a rifle round, for example, a 5.56, which has less recoil than this, is going to create a temporal cavity. And I'm not saying you should use 5.56 for deer hunting, but something like a 308 would have similar recoil to this, and it would cause a lot more damage, in my personal opinion. If I shot this head that close with a 308, this thing would have flown into the berm. All right, so the new CMMG Mk4 in 338 arc. Started off a little rough, a little iffy there, but once we got the gun gas for the ammunition we were using, it was 100%, which thank God it was, because I was worried this was going to turn into a shit show. The gun itself, we shot 100 rounds through it of subsonic 338 arc, the 307 grain. Now we had super here, but it was kind of a pain in the ass to adjust the gas system because we had to keep taking the suppressor off to do it. So I didn't want to readjust it for super, so we just shot subsonic today. At some point we'll shoot super, maybe we won't, I don't know. The gun is really designed around the subsonic ammunition in the first place. If you want supersonic 30 cal, there's a lot of it out there. There's 308, there's 30-06. You can go that route in a different gun. I think most people that are buying 338 arc are probably shooting subsonic only. That's why we mostly shot subs through it. And for a very quiet round, it's reasonably powerful. Not super impressive, but it's reasonably powerful. It's not 8.6 blackout, but again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the cartridge was designed to fill a niche between subsonic 300 blackout and 8.6 blackout, of which I think it does a fine job. I think if I had to choose this or subsonic 300 blackout, I'm definitely going this. It's got a little bit more ass less than that. However, if I'm gonna hunt with a subsonic cartridge, which I would honestly probably never do, realistically, I would probably use 8.6 instead of this. I'm a real one-shot stop kind of guy. When I like to hunt, I like to use a 12 gauge deer slug, or I like to use a 450 or something like that. I have used 350 Legend in the past. However, I prefer, like I said, a one-shot stop, like 50 BMG temporal cavity. I'm just messing, but a large temporal cavity. In the case of home defense or self-defense, I think it would do okay. If you're looking for a subsonic like truck gun, I think it would do okay. To be completely honest with you, I have a hard time trying to think of a niche that the 338 ARC actually fits in my life, that something like a subsonic 45 ACP wouldn't handle, or a big bore 308 wouldn't handle, which I happen to have both. Now, if you don't have both and you want something for like varmints, you want something for like maybe quiet home defense, like you have kids in the house, and then you also want to be able to upgrade that to a big 30 cal round, well, then I think this is probably a good option for you. However, if you already have those cartridges, I'm a little 50-50. This ammunition right here for subsonic 338 is going to be running right around $1.25 to $1.50 to even $2 a round. So it's going to be expensive to shoot that round, and it's going to be expensive and hard to find as well. There's definitely some cons to the cartridge, and there's definitely some pros. The pro is that it's one of the most powerful subsonic rounds you can buy that you can shoot through a semi-automatic rifle. The pro is that the rifle itself, the CMMG Dissent, is a wonderful platform. These are really, really good guns. These are sort of like the MCX for a little bit less money. 5.56 and 300 blackout cartridges are available in the CMMG Dissent as well. I think I'll probably get a 5.56 at some point. I was looking at getting a 5.56 for a truck gun since they fold up so nice and they have a good recoil and pulse to them and stuff like that. I wanted to dip my toes into the 338 ARC and see what it would do. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. It's a good round. I just don't know if it's worth switching your whole loadout over for. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support Oklahoma shelters. And remember to recycle. I'll check you later.